Year 4. Well, welcome back to this half-term's art. I hope you had a lovely half-term break and now we're back to lessons again. So we are continuing with our mixed media piece that we started last half-term. Hopefully you will have made a background like this. If you haven't already done this, then you will need to look back at the videos from last half term, the last 2 videos before we broke up for half term, to see how to do that bit. If you picked up an arts pack today from school, then you will be able to do your colours in your background with the materials that are in your arts pack if you weren't able to do that before now. Like I said, hopefully we have created our background to our Warhol animals using collage, using torn up pieces of paper that we've already coloured. Today we are going to focus on the eyes of our animal. We said last half term that we could choose between these 3 animals, an owl, a dog, or a cat, and sort of extrapolating from that, a dog could become a wolf and a cat could become a lion or something like that. But these 3 types of animals are the basis of what we need to basis of the eyes that we need to think about today. Now, I suggest, I've said templates there on the screen. If you're in school, you may have templates that you can draw around, but if you're at home, you need to make your own template. So we need to think about the shapes. Now, the reason that I'm saying templates is because you want both eyes to be the same size. So rather than drawing them freehand on a piece of paper, if we draw one template, we can use it twice, and then both of those eyes will be the same size. So we need our eyes to be fairly large. It's almost slightly cartoon-like the way we're doing this. And our background is A3, which is pretty big. So we need to have some big eyes. Now, I always favour using a pizza box or a piece of card as our background to make a template out of. If you're going to do an owl, you may need an eye as big as this. That is almost the size of my face. A big egg shape, or you could have a round shape either for the eyes of your owl. You could have 2 eyes like this or 2 eyes like this. If you see on my picture here, I'm going to do an owl. So if I had a big eye here and a big eye here, they are fairly large, aren't they? Or if you want to do smaller ones, you could use the smaller circles. If you're going to do a cat, then you need to make an eye that looks a bit like a lemon. And when we've drawn these and finished colouring them, we can place them on at an angle like this, which is a bit cat-like, one pointing down one way and one pointing down the other way, to be feline like a cat. If you're doing a dog, that's very similar to a cat's eyes, but is slightly more round, and those eyes tend to be a bit more straight and not quite so pointed, because that automatically looks a bit like a cat, doesn't it? So for your dog, you're going to have them a bit more straight and a little bit more round. So let's have a look at those sizes again. There, you can see that they are fairly large. In fact, the cat one is fairly like the size of a real lemon, and so is the dog one. So that'll give you an idea of the size. This one for a little owl eye is about the size of a small orange or a tangerine. And this eye for a big owl's eye is about the size of a gigantic egg. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to draw the inside parts of the eye. So let's see how to do that next. Now that we've drawn our eye and we've drawn the shines in our eye, we need to first of all colour them with black ink or black paint around the outside, the corners, and inside our pupil of our eye, the part which lets in the light. That black part of our eye, we need to colour that first. So let's do that. I'll show you how I'm going to do it, and then you can do yours and we'll let it dry. Now that we've painted the outside of our eye, we need to think about the iris, the coloured part of our eye, in the middle of our eye. We're going to use oil pastels for this part. If you haven't got oil pastels, you might be able to use wax crayons at home. Look into your partner's eyes or someone at home. Are their eyes made up of one shade only? Are they just purely one colour? No, they're not, are they? There's flecks of different colours inside people's eyes. So for this reason, we are going to use 3 values of each colour to create the shades of an eye. If you want to have a green cat's eye, you will want something like dark green, light green, and yellow. They are close to each other on the colour wheel. So colours which tone together like that. If it's green, you want a dark and a light, and then a yellow to tone with it. If you want to have an orangey kind of owl's eye, then you will need to have a red for the outside, an orange for your next colour, and then a yellow. Red, orange and yellow, fire colours. If you were going to have a blue dog's eye, for example, or maybe some people have blue cat's eyes, you will need a dark blue, a light blue, and then a white colour to blend with it. So you get the idea. It's 3 shades, 3 values of colour which are close to each other on the colour wheel, and we're going to blend them together. So like I said, we're going to use oil pastels, or you could use wax crayons. You could do this with coloured pencils either, or failing all of those, you could use paint. So I'll show you how I expect us to do it.